here to make a new type of news.
New insights, new styles, and new topics every day.
We are News Generation.
Making news just for you. It's January 18th here in Seoul. I'm Shin-Yoon, and you're watching News Generation. Joining me in the studio is Choi-Ji.
Good morning.
Good morning, and Walter Lee.
Lovely to be here.
Now, both are here to speak on behalf of people in their 20s and 30s. As usual, let's start with our news feed, which covers different hashtags and news items that have been trending on social media over the past 24 hours. Samsung Electronics has unveiled its long-anticipated Galaxy S24 series at the Galaxy Unpacked event. The event took place in San Jose, California, and introduced not only the next generation of Samsung's flagship smartphones, but also showed how far the company has come with artificial intelligence. Samsung released latest features like AI Live Translate Call and a new wearable technology in the form of a smart ring that uses Galaxy AI and generative AI. Moving on, while many think bottled water is cleaner than tap water, recent studies show that the latter actually has less germs. Sejong University did a comparative study on tap water and 11 types of bottled water. It found that while bottled water had 5 different types of germs, tap water didn't have any. Experts explain this is because Korea has very strict tap water regulations, and those used in households are managed very well to the extent that people can drink it. However, only 5% of Koreans actually drink tap water, and according to Greenpeace, around 5.6 billion plastic bottles of water are consumed in Korea every year. And everyone has different ways to overcome grief. There's 2 sisters in the States who've gone viral on TikTok for their unique way of grieving. That's posting confession videos sharing some of the mishaps that they've done since their mother passed away 2 years ago. The 2 sisters, Sarah Wallner and Katie Riggins, told local media that they've decided to use humor and candor to share their experience after losing their mom to pancreatic cancer. And of their many videos, one shows the sisters talking about how they tried doing a charity walk for cancer but couldn't finish it because one of them thought she broke her foot. Another shows the sisters seemingly talking to their late mom, saying that they didn't know how they still had to file her taxes. What makes the videos lighthearted is the contagious sound of their laughter, and the videos have since garnered millions of views, and similar content has been trending as well. Many commented how they were comforted from this type of content and were actually pointing to how social media could help with sharing bereavement. Now, particularly, I think this is a latest trend among our generation, given the fact that a lot of people go on social media to share their personal stories. But what do you think about people sharing something that's too personal, where it could be bereavement, particularly a process using humor to get over your grief? What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are usually negative because I don't really like social media that much, and I think a large majority of people who are on social media would love to be social media famous, so they will do anything. Now, I do believe that these 2 girls actually went on social media with the idea of not becoming famous, just to share their stories and be funny and have a lot of fun, and I don't think they were expecting it to blow up as big as they do. But it's the people who follow them who are just maybe using it as an excuse to gain or get so-called clout. And I don't personally think it's a great way to bereave. It's quite a personal issue. But, you do you, man.
I know, it's like everyone has their own way of grieving. What about you? What do you think?
Well, I respect this unique way of grief, but personally, sharing this personal experience openly with the public, I think is a little too much for me. I even frown at pictures of funerals uploaded on social media and other online spaces usually, and I really don't see the real purpose of sharing the process in so much detail with other people. I mean, like Walter said, it was just a way for them to go over and really to overcome the sadness. However, did they really have to share it? I mean, without the purpose of getting popular or famous?
I see.
I'm not so sure about that.
Well, to play the devil's advocate, I personally saw these 2 videos and I thought that they were actually quite comforting in some way, because it seemed like as if they were talking to their late mother, and I think a lot of the viewers could also relate in the sense that if anyone has that type of loss, using humor, though it's not the most conventional way, it could be one way to get over your personal grief, and I think it takes a lot of courage for you to be uploading that on social media. But then again, everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Let's now switch gears to our main discussion topic of the day. There is a giant panda that has shaken up South Korea. My AI voice secretary will tell you who she is.
This is Fubao, the first giant panda to have been born through natural breeding in Korea. She was born on July 20, 2020 at Everland theme park. She comes from the only panda family in Korea, the Baos, first arrived in the country in March 2016. Fubao's parents, Aibao and Lubao, were leased from China in celebration of Everland's 40th anniversary. Fubao has garnered massive popularity since the theme park uploaded videos of her interacting with her keeper Gang. Her panda keeper's nickname is Halbuji, which in Korean means grandfather and also reflects how the two have tight-knitted relationship that reflects that of a granddad and a granddaughter. Thanks to her cute appearance and lovable personality, Fubao has become the icon of Everland. Panda goods in the park saw a spike in sales. Back in June last year, sales of panda dolls, cushions and magnets at the park's gift shop jumped by 60% compared to the previous year.
Do you guys remember how on the last week of 2023, here on NewsGen, we chose the most notable Korean figures and animals of the year? And Walter here mentioned the giant panda Fubao that has been garnering massive popularity throughout the year. Now, is Fubao still as popular as she was in 2023?
Well, it seems that Fubao fever is as hot as ever and still strong, especially amongst the MZers. I guess they just can't get enough of Fubao. And I think this actually might be heightened due to the fact that we know that Fubao will have to leave Korea this year. I mean, it's very sad news. But so everyone is going to Everland to catch a glimpse of the cute and cuddly panda before she goes back to China. So I think she's only going to get more and more big as the the months go on.
I know, and we're just looking at Fubao right now. She is adorable. And can you just add on, Chi, to how popular this giant panda is?
Sure. So the 4-year-old female panda, often called Princess Fu, attracts thousands of visitors every day to her home in Panda World at Everland, Korea's largest amusement park. And in 2016, Chinese President Xi Jinping, in fact, presented Korea with 2 giant pandas as a state gift. And this pair, the father Lubao and mother Aibao, produced a cub in July 2020. And that's Fubao, which became the first panda born in Korea through natural breeding. Now, the popularity of Fubao can be attributed to the special bond between the panda and its keeper as well, Kang Cheol-won. And the duo was often compared to a grandfather and granddaughter, but some fans received criticism even for their excessive attention to this duo and Fubao.
I see, and you mentioned a lot of excessive attention. I think there was a lot of love from fans in regards to Fubao, but there has been some controversial issues, as you mentioned, the excessive attention that Fubao was receiving. So could you elaborate on any controversy surrounding Fubao?
Sure. So Aibao, like I said, the mother of Fubao, recently gave birth to twin pandas after another successful natural breeding. And to ensure a better environment for the newborns, Everland's panda habitat underwent a major overhaul. And due to this, Fubao was unable to see her mother for a while, as Aibao was busy taking care of her twin pandas. And some fans of Fubao criticized Everland for allowing Aibao to only focus on the twin pandas, despite the limited time left for Fubao to spend with her mother before leaving for China soon, which could be around July.
So as much as attention Fubao is receiving, I do think that Fubao also garnered a lot of concern from her fans. But are there any other issues regarding this panda?
First of all, I can't believe that an animal has a fan base. I mean, everything seems to have a fan base these days, and I get it. She's cute, she's cuddly, she's adorable. But I never knew animals could have a fan base. But yes, to add on to what he said as well, and it's got a lot to do with the fans. A lot of these fans are actually questioning the way, they're handling Fubao, but that's the thing, they're not zookeepers. So I don't know if they've got really a slice of the pie in this whole entire argument. But I know that a lot of Koreans are also wanting Fubao to stay in Korea because they think that this is this country is more, I guess, caring than the native country of China, but that's a very big debate as well. However, due to contracts between the Chinese government and obviously Korea, Fubao does have to go back, and I believe it's in the middle of the year.
Right, it's all part of China's panda diplomacy, though
Yes.
it gives out pandas as a gift. It does have to, other countries have to return these pandas back to their native home in China before they turn fully 4, and this is going to be happening in July of this year. But regarding Fubao and her popularity, I think another good point that you mentioned, Walter, is that you were surprised that she had a fan base, and
Yes.
she's an animal. And I think that really reflects our generation's love for cuddly, cute animals. But why do you think people, specifically in their 20s and 30s, were so attracted to the giant panda, apart from the fact that she's just so lovable and attractive with her physique? What made her so popular?
Well, Fubao has become incredibly popular to the point of it becoming an unprecedented syndrome in the country, really. Thousands of people, like I said, would visit Panda World just to see her and buy merchandise. And Yan and I also went to see her, but couldn't because of the extremely long line, which is quite disappointing.
We were very, very disappointed,
Exactly,
actually.
exactly. And analysts suggest that the younger generation find comfort in the panda and a sort of healing energy, especially during tough times. Studies have also shown that humans are naturally attracted to animals that have the baby-like physical features, so known as the baby schema. And Fubao, for instance, has a large head in proportion to its body, is plump, has small facial features, and moves slowly in a manner similar to that of a baby. So Fubao's popularity is also attributed to the fact that she was born and raised in Korea, making her more familiar and more endearing to the locals here.
And if I add on our small little anecdote, Chi and I, with another reporter, we went to Everland and we were so excited to see Fubao. But the line just to see Fubao for 5 minutes was a mere hour and a half. And we really wanted to see her, but at the end, we couldn't because we were late for the other amusement park rides. But hopefully one day we'll get to see her. And you mentioned a really good point there. I think it's because Fubao reminds you of a big giant baby.
Yes.
You just want to go and hug her, but then again, we can't do that. But anywho, what do you think makes Fubao so popular among our generation?
Especially among our generation, obviously, we like to be special in a way to take photos with Fubao, I think. As you
so
mentioned, you know, it takes an hour and a half to wait, and for you to get a picture with Fubao, if it's a selfie or if it's just a few pictures and upload it on social media, then therefore you're a very small group of people who's able to do that. So I think it also comes down to showing off in a way, the FOMO kind of thing in this situation. But of course, yes, it's the chubby cheeks, it's the furriness of the animal. I mean, you just want to hug it, and I'm sure, like, if you could, but I don't hear of any panda deaths. But anyway, yeah, I think it's about social media as well.
Yeah, and I think Everland was very smart to use social media to their benefit as well. The marketing that they did by showing the relationship with Fubao and Kang Chan-won, the keeper, it really garnered a lot of attention from our generation that is often on social media and YouTube, looking at all these videos, sharing it with their friends, and that's why I think it really added on to Fubao's popularity. Now, we asked our viewers if their country has an iconic animal like Fubao here in Korea, which attracts much love and attention from the younger generation. Even better if they have giant pandas that are as popular as Fubao. So here's what 3 of them had to say. Take a look at the screen to find out what our viewers had to share. Lee Zhou said, in Australia, we have Wang Wang and Funi. I know they're a big attraction at the Adelaide Zoo. Sadly, they haven't been breeding, and the zoo is seeking possible new pandas at the end of this year when Wang Wang and Funi's contract expires. Leon Teo said Singapore is home to 2 giant pandas named Kai Kai and Jia Jia. They're on a 10-year loan from China and reside at the River Safari, which is part of the Wildlife Reserve Singapore. They even have a cub, Lily, in 2021, who will be heading back to China later this year. And a user said in California, like in San Francisco, there's so many cute pandas like Mei Mei. So it's really wonderful to hear that there's so many other pandas around the world that are garnering popularity. But we're now going to include another Gen Z in our talks who also loves Fubao and will also explain why this panda is so popular among our generation. We're now going to include a fellow Gen Z who actually really likes Fubao. It's Pick Seungmin. Welcome, Seungmin.
Hi, thanks for having me.
All right, Seungmin, I hear that you really like Fubao, but did you ever see this giant panda in person?
Unfortunately, I haven't had the chance to yet, but I am one of those people who are planning to go to Everland really soon. I'm planning a trip with my mom, who's also a big fan. Hearing your anecdote, now I'm kind of scared to wait in the line, but me and my mom, we both know it's going to be worth it. And because we know Fubao's leaving soon, we really want to visit when we have the chance. And I think like right now might be the perfect time because I think I heard they're opening like a Fubao themed gallery at Panda World pretty soon. And I'd love to visit that as well while I'm there.
Hopefully the line isn't too long for you and your mom.
Right. So why do you think people from our generation, including yourself, like Fubao? Why is she more popular than other animals?
First of all, I think, we love her cute, round, chubby face, as you all mentioned as well, and just overall her adorable appearance. But behind that, I think, lies a certain, relatability. Like, if you look at Fubao, she's actually very expressive, especially with her facial expressions. And we kind of see ourselves in her despite being, a different species, right? Food makes her happy. She's embarrassed when she falls from trees. She's scolded by her mom. We all know what that feels like. She likes to lounge about and just, enjoy her surroundings. And I think we both relate to her, but also kind of want that kind of peaceful life for ourselves as well. As you mentioned, she provides a kind of healing that we want in our competitive, work-packed everyday lives. And I think that's what makes me a fan of Fubao.
Exactly. I think that's why some people can say that Fubao is the epitome of animal therapy. Whenever we look at Fubao, we can live vicariously through her.
Yeah, what an excellent answer that was. And as Chihi mentioned, Fubao was actually born in Korea, but soon will have to leave Korea. What are your thoughts on this?
Obviously, I'm really sad to see her go, but at the same time, I'm just glad to have the chance to meet Fubao and getting to know her a little bit better and see her through the eyes of her keeper, Mr. Gang. I think that was very special as well, because it's an experience that all of us are very familiar with, just learning from each other, caring for each other. Whether that's a family member or a friend or a significant other. I think it was also a great opportunity for both fans and non-fans to be able to kind of grow that awareness of how other species are more similar to humans than we are different. So I think that was also a great opportunity. I hope Fubao all the best in China, and I hope her time in Korea stays with her for the rest of her life.
Oh, well, that was a really heartfelt message. Hopefully, Fubao can hear it soon. Thank you so much, Seungmin. It was a pleasure talking to you today. And enjoy your trip to Panda World. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
All right, now ending off, as we mentioned, Fubao is soon to leave Korea, and this is a part of China's panda diplomacy, which is the practice where Beijing originally sends giant pandas to countries as a tool of diplomacy and then receives them back. And the deal requires Fubao to be sent to China before she turns 4 when giant pandas become sexually mature. And under this contract, Fubao is set to leave Korea before the end of July. So Seungmin mentioned she's a little saddened to hear that she would have to go back to China, but at the end of the day, she is hoping for the best. What about you? What about you, Chi? What do you think? What are your hopeful endeavors for Fubao in China?
Well, like you mentioned, this is a part of China's diplomacy, and unfortunately, because giant pandas made the endangered species list in 1984, they have to be returned to China before they turn 4. But as we are a nation of Cheng, we have grown very affectionate and fond of this little, attached to this little, now big panda. So it's really sad, and I'm sure many will run to Everland to see Fubao before it leaves, including Well, us, yeah. we
Let's
should
go grab a
see
date.
it.
Yeah, in order to see Fubao before she leaves.
Exactly,
Yeah.
but I mean, it has to leave. She has to leave, and I just wish all the best for Fubao. I wish it stays healthy, and some people can hopefully see her when they get to visit China and go see her.
Or we can fly into China to see Fubao again. What about you, Walter? What are your thoughts on Fubao leaving? And on an ending note, our generation's love for these cute, cuddly animals out there.
Yeah, I think I think Chihi said it all, to be honest with you, but we have to look at this as a bigger picture. They are an endangered species, and we want these species to be around for hopefully as long as they can be, right? And this is why it is important that we do return them back to China. Though we want to be selfish and keep them here because they are so beautiful and so cute and cuddly, but at the end of the day, we must think of the animals first rather than ourselves, and hopefully we preserve these animals for a very, very long time.
I think that's a great ending note. I think as much as we love and have a lot of attention towards cute, cuddly creatures like Fubao, I think this attention should shed more light as to what we need to do to better protect animals out there, especially endangered species. And because our generation is keeping a close eye on Fubao and her journey in China, I think we'll all be paying attention to how she'll be treated there and the life she'll be living. Now, in the meantime, we'll be here every day from 9:30 to 10 a.m. Korea time, bringing you more topics young people are talking about. Special thanks to Chiji, thank you, and Walter Lee.
Lovely to be here.
All right, thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. We are News
Generation.
Generation.